The federal government says Canada Post is losing millions of dollars every day and is no longer financially viable. But the minister responsible for the Crown Corporation insists it is worth saving. So Joël Lightbound is asking Canada Post to adopt a number of changes that he says will save it hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
There are choices that we need to make as a government. And the path forward, if we're not doing anything, is $10 million in losses every day. It's billions in repeated bailouts year after year. And that means cuts to some services. So I think there are ways, while protecting essential services that Canada Post offers Canadians, that we can make the corporation more efficient so that it can continue its mission.
The CBC's Rafi Bouchikanian joins us live from Ottawa. So Rafi, take us through the changes the government is suggesting for Canada Post.
Andrew, they're not coming out of nowhere. These are changes that were recommended by William Kaplan, a well-known arbitrator and labor mediator in this country who was appointed by the government to look into how to make Canada Post a sustainable corporation for the future. And he published a report in May. That's where these changes were first suggested to the government. The biggest one, of course, is ending home delivery. The government saying Canada Post has the right to do that now, which means that the roughly 4 million residences in Canada that still get home delivery would no longer receive it, and that would all be converted to the existing community mailbox model. Another big one is Canada Post is able now, according to the government, to decide how it wants to deliver non-urgent mail and does not have to fly it around the country anymore, but can do it on the ground. The government estimates that will save the corporation some $20 million. The corporation will also be allowed to shut down rural post offices. This is something there's been a moratorium on since 1994, so that's a pretty big change. The government arguing that a lot of what used to be considered rural is now at least urban or suburban, and therefore there are other post offices that are closer to existing ones than there used to be. So it's giving Canada Post the go-ahead to get rid of those. Another change is to allow the corporation to have part-time workers who would be paid as much as full-time employees, something that the corporation did not have as an option in the past. The biggest one here, though, really is the piece about ending home delivery, and the minister spoke about it at length at the news conference. Have a listen.
77% of Canadians don't receive their mail delivered directly at their door. They receive it through rural mailboxes or community mailboxes or in apartment buildings. So we're lifting the moratorium, which will mean 4 million more addresses will now be covered, well, in years to come through community mailboxes.
The minister had a couple of numbers in that clip you ran earlier, Andrew. There were more discussed at this news conference. For instance, he said that Canada Post had $5 billion in losses last year in 2024. Another stark number, he said that delivering mail to an individual mailbox costs Canada Post annually $279 versus delivering to a community mailbox, the annual cost is $154.
Okay, interesting. So Rafi, the minister is asking for these changes while Canada Post and thousands of its workers are in the middle of contract negotiations. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, and I should say we have not heard from Canada Post or the union about what the government has said specifically today, which is perhaps not surprising. This news conference just happened. I'm sure we'll be watching out for that reaction. But effectively, they have been in a labor dispute for a while. Earlier this month, the union rejected the salary increase Canada Post was proposing, which was a 13% offer. The union was looking for 19% instead. So things are not resolved on this front, and I'm unclear on whether or not the government's announcement today will make either side likelier to come to the table and continue these negotiations.
Rafi, thank you. The CBC's Rafi Boudjikanian live in Ottawa.